My presentation is called Hate and Money. My name is Jada Williams. I'm the one on the right in this picture. I thought I wanted to be a vet until the pandemic. I spent a lot of time doing self-discovery, and I realized my true calling is to help as many people as possible. So yeah, this project has been in the works for about 2 years. The goal of my goal is to promote economic equality, fairness in the economy, which is fairness in the economy, particularly in access and opportunity to wealth and income in society. The government makes the rules of the economy according to the AOC. Whatever. Okay. Market economies need clear rules to function efficiently. Without a legal framework establishing and enforcing rights and the rules of the game for citizens, businesses, and government and civil society, our free enterprise system could not exist. While regulation in many instances yield important public benefits, regulations are often imposed on individuals and organizations with too little thought or analysis of what is gained in comparison with the losses incurred in time, money, indecision, and productivity. According to the Federal Reserve, the majority of all the wealth in the U.S. is controlled by the top 10%. If the government is supposed to maintain economic equality by creating the rules of the game, why is more than 60% of the wealth controlled by 10% of the nation? The term, the Great Prosperity, what happens when the rules are fair? The term the Great Prosperity refers to the period between 1947 and 1977 in the United States when many saw their private workforces enjoy an unprecedented increase in the standards of living. Economic gains in the country were more evenly distributed than they are in current times due to the fact that wages and overall compensation for the private sector workforce grew so fast. During the Great Prosperity, economic inequality reached its lowest point at about 9%. Wages and overall compensation increased for two reasons. Higher rates of higher education, meaning more people completed higher education during that time, and the increase in private sector unions. 1980s to the present, what happens when they make the rules unfair? Starting around the 1980s, worker productivity wasn't reflected in their pay. As productivity continued to rise, worker wages stagnated. Workers' pay does not reflect the value they bring to the company. This graph shows how private sector union membership rates decreased. So did the middle class's share of income. The continuum of care found that between 2007 and 2020, New York City's total homeless population increased by 55%, from about 50,000 to 80,000. This shows, maybe I should go back. Hold on. Okay, so inequality pipelines. I'm gonna put it into perspective of what income inequality can cause. Economic inequality leads to economic insecurity, which causes both subsidized and substandard housing and homelessness. These two issues create low-income neighborhoods, which causes poor education and under-resourced schools. From there, it's a quick downward trend to low-paying jobs, which means they are exploited, which means they lack a voice and representation, which causes them to become angry and unable to make smart political decisions, which causes political instability, meaning poor governance and corruption, and this endangers democracy. This is just one pipeline caused by economic inequality, but there is a whole sewer system of problems. So how do we replace these old, corrupted pipelines with new and better ones? There is a strong connection between income inequality and party polarization, meaning the more income inequality, the less people are willing to agree on politics, because their anger causes them to trend to the extremes rather than compromise. I don't think this will work. Let's try it. So what can fix this rise of hate as a result of economic inequality? I already told you the solutions. We need more, better, and more accessible education. We need more labor unions, and we need to take care of the middle class. The government creates the rules of the economy, but clearly the rules are not working. We need new rules that promote a sustainable economy. I came up with this equation. A sustainable economy equals freedom plus incentive plus opportunity plus everything. Freedom is the power to act or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. Incentive is a thing that motivates or encourages one to do something. Opportunity is a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. Everything refers to everything and everyone should be thought of, included, and treated with respect and protected. Nothing should be destroyed by economic activity and profit, the purpose of the economy. Okay, which brings me to what my company wants to do. My company's name is iDEAS Coop, and our goal is to turn this country of waste into a country of opportunities for change and happiness. We will accomplish this by reforming the political economy. Our competition are unions and special interest groups because unions represent the economy and special interest groups represent politics. So in order to reform the political economy, I have a 6-step plan. Step 1 is to become the best version of myself because I understand that if I want this company to succeed, I need to represent the company because it's not just about revolutionizing industries, it's about revolutionizing the world. Revolutions need leaders, so I guess that will be me. Step 2 is volunteer at different organizations to gain connections and insight with the social sector. Step 3 is collaborate with social sectors to establish a path to change. We hope to monopolize the social sector, merge all these organizations, and make them a part of our agents of change. I believe we could make a huge difference in a short amount of time if we work together. Step 4 is post and collaborate on the internet to gain a following. Step 5 is help the common man on their journey to happiness with my 6-step program called Enlightened Empowerment. This program is about self-discovery and hardship resiliency. Step 6 is once we have established ourselves in the social sector, we can then expand to the public sector, meaning we look for political ties and have representatives run for office so that we have insight into what's happening in the government and we have a more direct connection to changing the system by being a part of it. We hope to partner with the government since we both represent the interests of the people. We would be able to keep each other in check. We would collaborate to make better laws and even more differences independently. Step 7 is once we have political ties, the private sector would be more encouraged to join iDEAS Coop in exchange for choosing a sustainability group. There are 3 sustainability groups: economic, social, and environmental sustainability. So in exchange for choosing a sustainability group and paying membership fees, we provide them with political representation through our connection to the public sector and economic representation through our consulting. Us representing them will increase their access and money. We would provide connections and create opportunities. And the last step is to make change. Okay, I'm done.
Unbelievable. Thank you, Jada. We're going to open it up. Wow. We're going to open it up to the judges.
So I'll go first and jump right in. So outstanding presentation. I just enjoy. I was looking intently because I felt educated and I loved all of the background and the research and the statistics. It was really, really impressive. So thank you so much. It's clear that a lot of time and effort and work went into it. And so that's appreciated. The one question I have is when you think about the success of your plan and what you want to do, and you've got this great idea about how you're going to make change. I love that you put in your competitors. That was great. What if you could share with us, what do you think would be the biggest challenge you might face in order to getting to success? And so you've laid out this plan of all these wonderful things that are going to happen, and it's very together. Based on your research, what do you think will be the hardest part to find your success?
Literally every step, because I have to work with people who have their own ideas about what they think would be the best way to do it. And because I want to monopolize the social sector, I already tried to like create a group one time, but they didn't want to do that because they had their own idea of what they should do. So I'm already prepared to deal with people seeing different perspectives. But I think because it's like you have to get people on board. So like the public sector and the social sector would be the hardest because people don't really care about your opinion and you have to make them care. But once we have those two, the private sector will be really easy because all they care about is money, really. So the more money and the more like representation they get, the more they'll be happy. So
great, thank you.
Yeah.
If I can jump in next. So Jada, thank you for your presentation. I too echo what James had said, just learning a lot. I really appreciate all the research and the facts and the visuals of your graphs. And it really helped ground us as the audience to really know all the information about this problem and how big of a problem we are experiencing society around inequity of resources and income. I love the approach of thinking about many different layers and areas that you want to, I guess, lack of better words, attack this sort of problem, thinking about politics, thinking about different groups and organizations. But I also know that it takes money to also make money and fund your projects and fund your plan. So I wanted to sort of ask you, have you thought about what sort of funding resources are you thinking about to earn money for your project and your plan?
Okay. Honestly, that's a really hard question for me because I imagine that I would want it to be free. Like building the company would just be free because I would be able to volunteer and then gain connections, and that's all I really need, like initially. But after that, I don't know what I would need money for. Probably for like where we are and like just I don't know, establishing like cities, I guess, and like places of where we could do that. But if it's all volunteer based, I think it could be free.
So thank you, Jada, for your answer. I know we're giving some feedback. I would love for you to think about some next steps about grants and learning about the world of grants. Being from the not-for-profit social work education aspect, grants, we don't say it's free money, but in some aspects, it may feel a little bit freer because it's an opportunity. There's money out there from the government, from organizations that if you apply for your grant, you can get a lump sum of money to start your projects, to fund your projects. So that's going to be a take-home assignment that I'll be sending off to you to learn more about grants, as it might be a great way for your idea and your project to get some money and resources. So thank you, Jada.
Thank you.
Hey, Jada, fantastic. And you had a snafu with the video and you just kept on going. And that just is a really good sign of a leader and someone who cares about what they're doing. So congratulations. So my question for you is, who is the most important person on your team besides yourself, obviously, and how will they help you reach your goal?
Wait, you mean like in the future or like?
Yeah, as a part of your plan, so when you launch, right, say you get all the money in the world to do this, right? And you're going to get some resources and grant research so you can research that, right? So now you're ready to go. And then you want to convince more people to join your cause. So they would want to know, who's actually going to be doing this work. Are they good? Have they done this before? And et cetera, et cetera. So have you thought about who the most important person on your team is and what they will do for you?
Okay, so we're talking in the future. So I would say just all the people on my panel. Like my panel is the people that are like experts in the field, and have like insight. So like, if I wish we had seen the video, because because one person in my panel would have been like Robert Reich, because he was a part of Obama's economic team. So if we could get him, that would be a great addition to to his coup. Yeah. But we would have like experts in all different fields to like cover all the sustainability.
That's amazing. And I'm glad you're thinking about that, because you want to get the best that you can get, right? So yeah, I would encourage you to continue to have that list, and then also think about like, hey, who in my network, who right next to me could help me with this? Because I think that will tell a good story as well. So Jada, what questions do you have for us?
Oh, okay. So I heard that one of you was a consultant, which is very interesting, because it's like, what exactly does that do? What kind of consulting do you do?
Thank you, Jada, for asking that question. And definitely the panel also chime in if you have some consulting experience as well. But as a consultant, you're often tasked with the responsibility to advise and provide just sort of an assessment of an agency or company, usually brought in as an expert of an area of expertise, whether it may be business, economics, finance. My area of expertise is really in social work. So all these sort of social problems that we're going to be talking about today, like mental health, education. So I do some consulting for a transfer charter high school in Brooklyn, and also for their charter school network. So I provide a lot of consulting around looking at data and supporting the staff with different trainings and so on, and in that area. But I also provide consulting for another agency that is a growing agency that provides mental health services. So again, I provide some consulting around training and workshops and how to help the agency grow by also making sure that they're in compliance and liability with different state standards. So, and it's a great way to make some money and also have that social like value of supporting the communities that really need this type of support and expertise. So thank you, Jada.
Thank you.
Jada, brilliant job. I want to just generalize and say that you need to have a budget. We're missing the budget and your sustainability plan, which the judges did address it in somehow. And you need a team, right? So the team starts now.